are back. Happy baseball eve, my friends. Off base, back in better than ever podcast version. Half hour, Lauren Gardner, Xavier Scruggs. Dude, here we are, season 4. Survive in advance.
Let's go.
It happened.
When you put it that way, I feel like a survivor.
I do too.
But this is cool. I like this little setup too.
Right?
We got all the off-base stuff.
Hey, we're going to continue to bring you unique perspective on the game. We're going to dive into the culture. We'll obviously talk about like all the trending topics on the field. You're going to give us the best breakdowns in the game. And we're going to do it on a podcast version. We'll also be on MLB Network, MLB.TV, YouTube, and then again, wherever you can find your favorite podcast too.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
That's our thing.
That's it.
That's our thing. That's
It's
all
like
you got to do.
New audience too, just listening. Like we're
so
giving you
fun.
all the opportunities.
We got you. We got you every week. So let's go ahead and move the needle, my friends. How about this? What opening day matchup should we have our eyes on as we take a look at the schedule? This is stacked, X. I don't even know where to start.
I'll tell you where to start. You go straight to Houston.
Let's go.
I'm going straight to Houston. First of all, I need to see Juan Soto in a different uniform with the Mets. He's already looked ridiculous during spring training.
In an actual game.
Yes, yeah.
He just,
well, let's go.
His vibe fits the Mets.
And I want to see what changes with that team, right? Obviously, a great season last year, the way they finished specifically, but how much more does he propel them? I'm looking at Clay Holmes will be starting opening day as well.
I mean, going from the bullpen back in the rotation, that's going to be fun.
Got that kick change working, new pitch.
Love that.
I've talked a lot about that on my social, so make sure you check that out. But also,
go ahead, plug it. Why not?
going against Valdez, Framber, the ground ball king. But there's been also changes for Houston. I look at Cam Smith now has made this opening day roster, playing right field in replace of Kyle Tucker. No Kyle Tucker. Isaac Paredes comes over to this team. Altuve will be making his debut in the outfield.
Isn't that crazy? And they even told me going into spring training that they didn't think that would be like a permanent thing. He was just taking reps out there.
It's a thing.
Seems to be a good fit.
It's a thing.
Here we go.
And then you have Christian Walker
Tucker
over at first base.
Yep.
So I'm excited for like both sides of what this looks like for both teams.
So many changes, a new identity. Pete Alonso, though, back in that lineup, providing some protection for Juan Soto. By the way, you and I will be out there doing the Apple TV Plus pregame show for Friday Night Baseball, so tune in. I mean, if we're in the spirit of plugging things,
then we have to. Then we want people to find us.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can find that game only on Apple TV Plus. So there are just so many great storylines. My pick. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's not just because I'm a lefty, but I'm going to go ahead and like let y'all in on the inherent bias here. But I am going with the 2024 AL Cy Young winner, Tarek Skubal, facing off against a 2-time Cy Young winner, Blake Snell, making his Dodgers debut in LA. The rich just keep on getting richer. But how much fun will this matchup be to watch? Like, I don't know if you had that on your bingo card, but how can you not? And in my opinion, I think Skubal's going to win the Cy Young again.
Well, I think it's his to lose. And
you're right.
When I think about kind of a team that's emerging in the Tigers and a team that's already established in the Dodgers, like those are the types of matchups I want to see early on in the season. I want to see the best go against the best. Blake Snell, Tarek Skubal. Also, we've heard that Mookie Betts is feeling better, so hopefully he's in that lineup doing his thing. I'm excited because you don't often see teams repeat.
Yes.
And this is a team in which the Dodgers won last year have gotten better on paper. They have the best chance to repeat. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying we don't see it often, so I'm wondering if it does happen.
I feel like you said, they're the leader in the clubhouse. There's no denying that. Speaking of repeating, though, I feel like the Tigers had that amazing run. I talked to A.J. Hinch during the media days at Grapefruit League.
What was he saying?
He's so optimistic about this club. He's incredibly optimistic. He feels like he has all the pieces in place. By the way, Jack Flaherty starting game 2 with his former team, against his former team. Carry the 5, subtract the 2. So there's so many fun storylines going into this. The only only two teams rather, that will not be in action on opening day. Tampa Bay Rays, the Colorado Rockies, which begs the question, X, what should they do with their day off?
Well, I'm thinking the Rays, I live in Tampa, and I know that the Rays are going to have to still get used to this new stadium, Steinbrenner, that will be their home for. Yeah, it looks really good. They're making a lot of changes, obviously, turning the Yankee signs into the Rays signs there, but it's going to be different for them. So maybe they can take a day to get used to that and make sure they get everything branding right on point. But I don't want to count the Rays out in what they do this year because it's going to be a team that's going to be fun. Yeah, from a pitching standpoint, a lot of depth.
Yeah.
They're going to look for offense, but they're not going to make excuses having to play in a field that they're at, in a stadium in which they're not used to. And I think they'll be stronger because of that.
That's a very good point. For my Colorado Rockies,
Yeah.
Tyler Freeman, obviously we know the trade. He thought he was going to be on a team with his best friend.
It's wild,
How funny is this tweet? So Nolan Jones' is best friend, Tyler Freeman. So obviously friends from their time together when they were with Cleveland. So they FaceTimed each other to say they had been traded. And they eventually realized it was for one another. Could you imagine, like, Finkel Einhorn? Like, what? Wait a second. I got traded. Wait, where are you going? Colorado.
Just the fact of the casualness in that, the nonchalant, and the fact that, okay, we just up and moving.
Like, I'm so excited. I'm going to your team. Yeah. We're going to be together finally. It was like, LOL.
Nah.
It's not happening.
It's going to be fun watching those two in different uniforms, too.
It will. It really will.
Both of them know how to bang.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Listen, hope springs eternal, and anything can happen.
Everybody
for my
says that.
Colorado
Everybody says that opening day.
Well, you know what? Fingers crossed. And as a Rockies fan, we're just going to go with that. Hey, when we come back here on Off Base, we're going to review 2024 before we preview 2025. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to this Baseball Eve edition of Off Base. It is time to review and preview, my friends. Of course, we're going to start with the man, the myth, the legend. We're not sure if he's even human. Shohei Ohtani went 50-50 as a full-time DH in 2024. Now that he's back pitching, though, X, will he top 100 combined? Are you ready for this? Homers, steals, and wins. Mind you, he probably won't be back in the rotation until May, so the math is going to be tough to math. Is it possible?
Math is tough to math.
I mean,
I'm looking at the win range, at least from a pitching standpoint, hopefully being around 10. If he's not, 10 to 12. It's just going to be tough on the stolen base category. That's the only category I'm really weary of, right?
Yeah.
I believe that he could hit 50. I believe that he could possibly hit 60 too. But there's going to be more of a toll on him now starting as a pitcher.
Right.
I don't know if the offensive numbers necessarily come down, but I know the base running numbers are going to come down. And I think and Dave Roberts has even mentioned that those will probably come down. So I hate to not put something past him.
He won 10 games in 2023, so 45, 45, 10.
But he's not.
Whatever the split may be.
He's not stealing 45. So I would have to say he's going to hit 60, steal 30, and win 10 games.
Call your shot, Shohei Ohtani.
He's doing it,
60 home runs in 2025. Let's go.
Now that I'm thinking about it, he could hit 60.
Why not?
But also, 30, I feel like it's still a step down from 50? How many stolen base? 53, something like that?
Yeah, I think that was 53.
So
59. 59, and then he was, okay. 54.
Maybe, you know what? I'm not putting it past him. Yeah, 100. 60 homers, 30 stolen bases, 10 wins.
I am never going to underestimate Shohei Ohtani or tell him he cannot do anything. So, yeah, why not? Sign him up. Okay, moving on to a couple of Triple Crown winners. Chris Sale, Tarek Skubal, obviously both took home the pitching Triple Crown in 2024. So we need to name one player from each league that could do the same in 2025.
It makes me think about which guys can be dominant for a long period of time. Those guys did that all season long. Another guy.
It was unbelievable to watch.
I think Zach Wheeler from the National League.
I love that pick.
He's in that category, right? He can get strikeouts. He can be durable. He can get W's because he pitches well, and his team is a good team, right? That's a part of it, too, is your team has to be good.
It's for you.
Yes,
obviously.
absolutely. Yeah. So I'm definitely thinking Wheeler. On the American League side, this one is a little bit tougher, but I'm thinking Cole Reagans is a guy.
I love this. So underrated.
Yes. The big thing is he's going to have to get the wins. I know he can get the strikeouts. I know he can be durable. I know he'll be out there. I think it's going to be Cole Reagans would be the best chance of getting that Triple Crown.
Listen, I love that pick. I love Zach Wheeler in the National League, but can I just go with the popular pick and say Paul Skeens? I know the Pirates have to win the games. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll give him the support. We'll see, but
that's the only part that concerns me.
I know it totally concerns me too, and I couldn't put Skubal out of the race on the American League side. I think he's going to win the Cy Young. I think he'll probably be another Triple Crown winner. He's just so dominant. He hasn't shown any signs of letting up.
Yeah. No, both of them.
And this team's going to be so solid again this
both
year.
of those guys, too. Like,
what's going
to stop them both from doing it?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be fun watching those guys try to do it again, but there's going to be more guys in the mix now.
Man, can you imagine? I mean, there's so many other names in here, like Dylan Cease, we have Framber Valdez. They're heading into free agency, so you're playing with a little extra juice.
Dang, Cease, too.
I know, I just planted that seed, didn't I?
I love how, but another thing, his adjustments of bringing the walks down to me is something that'll be a big part of that.
Yeah, that's a really good point there. And then, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta. Stop
Some
me
arms I would
when
never want to face.
I know.
I don't want to face any. I don't even want to look at the bat right now thinking about facing those dudes.
So much talent out there. And again, that's why we love Baseball Eve, because anything can happen, my friends. When we come back, we said it's Baseball Eve. So we're going to start a new tradition. We're going to start handing out some gifts. We're like the Oprahs of baseball.
You
get a gift. You get a gift. Happy Baseball Eve, my friends. And in the tradition of, like Christmas Eve or any holiday Eve, we're going to open some gifts. Did your family open gifts on Christmas Eve?
No, sadly we didn't. I was mad. I was like,
doing it
my
wrong.
Friends open gifts on Christmas Eve.
You're like, we got one, and I was happy about that. But
That's
in this
cool.
particular case, we have 6 gifts for some of our favorite teams and players. And it's things that they'll probably need going into the 2025 season.
Yes.
So without further ado, X, I'm going to let you
go
start
first?
with your gift. Yeah,
I've been looking at this big one. I was like,
all
I need
those
to
years of
cut
being
it.
deprived opening gifts on Christmas Eve, you get to start.
Guess what?
What?
Mike Trout, Angels, he gets a spa day. This is the
go.
first gift. Let's give him a nice spot. I was already, as you know, I was already peeking. I already knew what this one was. He's going to get a nice spot day because I'm expecting a relaxing, healthy season this year. That's the one thing we want from Mike Trout is 3-time MVP. We know what he's capable of doing. We just want my man to stay on the field. That's all it is. And actually, I got the opportunity to talk to Ron Washington just a few days ago in Phoenix. He was saying Mike Trout has looked as good as he's seen him. And
really? Oh, that's such
thinking
great
about
news
that
for Angels
transition to
fans.
right field, like that's what I'm excited about. Is we get to see him in a different position, but now hopefully he's got the health underneath him, his legs. We know he's so strong. He's going to go out there and ball, and hopefully he doesn't miss too many games this year.
Just 29 games in 2024. Missed a total of 389 games over the last 5 seasons. We need to see Mike Trout healthy
the game
and
needs
on the
him.
field. As fans, we deserve it. As fans, we deserve to see him in the postseason. Do we not?
The spa
He
day.
deserves a spot.
Relax,
Go
Mike.
get
It's gonna
yourself
be-
a
you're gonna
nice
be good.
treatment,
Relax.
Michael. I love it. Okay, it is my turn, and we have a great gift for our friends with the New York Yankees. Where's the logo? There it is.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were rocking that.
Squeeze me. I got this for the postseason, and it had to wait all offseason to make its debut here on Baseball Eve. So our good friends over at the Yankees just got a nice gift over the offseason.
I'm like,
The facial hair ban has been lifted. So we got them some boost serum for their beards.
Oh.
They need to get that thing looking nice like yours.
Yes.
Do you have any tips?
As long as it's groomed, right? It has to be nicely groomed. Like, the tips are just make sure it's even, right? Like, once you start having one side grow a little bit more than the other, it's no good. It's not going to be nicely groomed. So most of what I've seen all spring, the guys have gotten it under control. And I talked to Aaron Judge. He said that he's not going to grow his out, but he still is happy that they've made that decision.
So there will be no facial hair from Aaron Judge? Not even a little?
No, I don't think
What
so.
about Volpe?
Maybe some stubble,
Can he get any?
He might be too young.
Volpe? Or like Dominguez, the young kid?
Dominguez, he has some.
He already
have
does.
some,
You're
yes.
right. Okay, so keep it tight, but a little beard boost serum. I kind of love this for the Yankees. And, kudos to ownership and front office for taking that next step into 2025.
I'm looking
What else we
already
have?
into this next one here because we got some new socks. And you know what that means. We have some new red socks.
Yeah.
Not white socks, the red socks we're talking
Those
about.
blue socks.
Yeah, it's okay. Just pretend they're red, okay? We got Bregman, we got Crochet on the bump. They really needed an ace. But not only did they go get him, Walker Buehler as well. We still have the hard-throwing Aroldis Chapman.
This is
so
wild.
When you think about kind of what this AL East looks like, the whole face of this roster could, as it's changed, may propel them to the top of the division ultimately. Like, they've needed these moves to really go against the Yankees, go against Toronto, the Orioles. We count the Rays in there as well. All these teams.
With the injuries to Garrett Cole, Giancarlo Stanton, I thought Yankees might be the front runner. You never know what's going to happen with the rest of the division. Of course, the O's are in contention. We all know that Tampa's going to do Tampa things.
Yeah.
And of course, Toronto could surprise, but why not the Red Sox? Why not the Red Sox going deep, especially with what they have? I love that gift.
Oh, that's cool.
Even though they're baby blue. That's fine. I digress. If you're listening on the podcast,
taking these home,
you know,
right
theater
here.
of the mind. Go ahead and
These
take
are
the
soft.
picture. Those are soft. Put them on. What's on them? By the way, shouts out to Rob Wass and his wife for putting this whole thing together.
Amazing producer. I don't want to start like saying brands that I shouldn't
Okay,
be
that's
saying.
fair. That's totally fair. If you want to be sponsored on the podcast, you go ahead and hit us up. I'm sure we can
Seriously.
get you in touch with the proper
What you got?
channel.
What's in that big one?
Okay, so
What's in
speaking
that?
of teams with the name Red, we're going Cincinnati Reds.
Oh.
Pop the champagne, my friends. See, I'm not
What?
showing a label, and I'm also pregnant, so I can't drink this, so you enjoy. The Reds have not won a postseason series since 1995, X. That is the longest active streak in professional sports. What? They've gotten there. They just haven't gotten to the next round. So they went up 2-0, best of 5, NLDS against the Giants in 2012.
Yeah.
And everyone thought it was just going to be fine. It was like automatic to the next round. Of course, that didn't happen. And yeah, so here we go. And then, of course, I think they played in the wild card against the Pirates maybe the following season. And then after that, it's been a bit of a drought. Tito said he's not there for a victory lap. He's there to bring that young team to the promised land. So pop the champs. Is
we
that what the
popping
kids say?
bottles already?
We're
Let's
popping
go.
bottles. If I could destroy the studio, I would.
We just getting started. We already popping bottles like it's the end of the season. I love it.
I mean, this is a gift. We're speaking it into fruition.
Hey, they're going to be good. I got them as my second wild card team coming out of there too. I think they're going to get it
Who do you have
done.
winning the NL Central?
I have the Brewers. Until
Fair. If it ain't
proven
broke,
otherwise.
if it ain't broke.
I know
People without the
everybody's on the
airbender.
Cubs, but until proven otherwise, knock off the Brewers.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's fair.
I got this next. I got something for the Dodgers.
It's an envelope.
I
can
got
you
something
show
for the
everyone that?
Dodgers.
Oh.
Got something for the
I feel
Dodgers.
like that means good things when it's a big things in small
Straight
packages.
cash, homie.
What?
It may not be enough. It's fine. But straight cash, homie.
Don't we have like a toy money gun?
None of us have that. Okay? That's why we working.
That's hilarious.
why we working, because we don't have.
You and I have like 12 jobs for a
Look,
reason.
but what do the Dodgers have? They have the cash. They go get
Yeah.
these guys. Not to mention the farm system is always stacked, but they also have the ability to go get guys. And guys have signed there, and some have taken less money. Obviously, we know
Right.
about the deferrals, but guys want to be there. It's a part of the culture. Dave Roberts has done an amazing job
Have you been
over there.
around that team?
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
It is so fun.
It's almost like everybody's too likable. It honestly
right.
feels that way.
And
But
Dave Roberts too, man. I'd
but
love to play for
that's
Doc.
that's a tough job, is to make sure all of those amazing players and their egos
Managing all that.
mesh together.
He's a CEO.
That's why he just got paid. That's why he got that extension.
Very well deserved. I mean, this is kind of wild. The payroll is currently estimated north of $322 this season. So
Hey, go get you,
the $5
go get you something special. Can this get you a coffee nowadays?
I don't know, not the coffee I drink. It's like a bougie frappy mocha latte.
Yeah, you bougie with that coffee.
I just like it. I get one nice thing a day. That's all I want. Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah.
This is fun. This always means like something good, right? I'm shaking it.
I don't hear
There's
anything.
nothing in here.
What is?
Don't you worry.
Just open it up.
This is the gift that keeps on giving. It is an empty box, ladies and
What?
gentlemen. This is a good thing because this is for the Baltimore Orioles, who have made it to the postseason in the last 2 years, right?
Okay, yes.
Well, they've been bounced in the first round
Yeah.
of the last 2 years. So this is the gift of wisdom for the baby birds, right?
Okay.
We need them to take that next step. They have lost 10 straight postseason games dating back to 2014. Youth is no longer an excuse for these young players who have the postseason experience. So here we go. We're going to turn the corner in 2025. They have the gift of wisdom. It's the intangible that you
Yeah.
can see here. And they're going to take the next
That's
step.
almost
I
like
truly
a
believe this could happen.
disappointing gift.
What? An empty box? Isn't that what you always wanted?
But I feel like at the same time, we want the Orioles to take flight in a sense, right? No pun intended, but
Dad jokes are flowing early and often here on Off Base Podcast.
I'm thinking about, they're already going to be tested, right?
Yes.
Gunnar Henderson, obviously battling some stuff. You look at Grayson
I heard he looked
Rodriguez.
healthy in the cage, though.
Yeah,
right?
he's looking,
so he
he's
should be
looking
coming
much
back
better.
soon.
But they're going to be tested early, and they lose an ace in a Corbin Burns.
That one's tough. But you have Charlie Morton, speaking of wisdom. 41 years young. Here we go. But his stuff is still nasty.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, they're going to be fine. It just depends on health, obviously.
And Tomoyuki, too.
The rotation.
Yep. Sugano. Like, I remember being at media days, and they were speaking highly of him. Like, Mike Elias is all over him.
He's going to be fine making that transition here. The last thing is just the ability to, do it for 162. Because we saw the offense fall off a little bit toward the end. They had battled injuries. Now they just got to get it done throughout the course of the season. Man, I'm just so excited for the season. Anything is possible, and that's the best part of Baseball Eve, my friends. It's also the gifts. You get the 5. Well, you can have the champagne, too. But can I, trade for maybe the spa gift card? No, I'm taking this, too.
Oh, man. All right. Thanks for joining us on our inaugural Off Base podcast. You can check us out, MLB Network, Sundays at 11 a.m., MLB.tv, YouTube, and everywhere you get your favorite podcast.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
Boom! Nailed it. For Xavier Scruggs, Lauren Gardner. We'll see you next time. Bye.